Skyrim belongs to the Nords.
And
Boobies!
those are the first words of the session. Cool. Ollie, we're back on if you're around.
What's up?
Just reconnect because I ain't getting no video.
He was just making brownies anyway.
Well, currently I'm grinding up coffee and it's loud, see?
Ah, alright, yeah, no, you may mute if you wish.
Ewan, your beard is looking thicker.
Yes, no, as you get older, you too will find that your beard slowly grows.
Ewan,
I mean...
theory makes sense, right? Alfie had a beard but no moustache, right? Well, he had a tiny bird beard but no moustache.
Yeah, my cockatiel, yes, yeah.
Yeah, but I was looking at pictures today, and in all of them, Griff, and by extension all Welsh Terriers, had glorious moustaches and tiny little bits at the bottom, but nothing else. Clearly, our childhood pets have influenced the development of our facial.
That. So you're saying because I bought a cat, my facial hair got excessive?
Yes.
Well, you do rub them all over your face.
Yeah, that's just what you do when you own a cat, young Nicholas.
It's not actually a beard, it's just what he puts super glue.
It's Baz's like leftover fur.
Yeah, and just rubs it on there, and the static electricity and glue just hold it down.
Just is Baz.
It is Baz.
It's Baz.
Fair.
He loves the cat so much, I must be one.
But yeah, the quarren beard will persist until quarantine is over. And then maybe slightly past that, but I don't know. I'm kind of enjoying rocking the terrifying wild man look at the moment.
Wait, so you start
Say
quarantining there now?
As much as you look like the wild man, you are not terrifying. Sorry to burst.
No, but I look slightly more terrifying on the street, with wild-eyed, blinking into the sunlight. Not terrifying in like a, oh, it's a bear coming to get me, but in a, is that a goblin under the bridge type of a way?
in a way of, I really hope he doesn't sit next to me on the bus.
Yeah, there you go, that kind of terror.
If you want to cross the bridge, there is a toll you must pay.
Someone is breathing into their mic, and they really need to stop. I'm not quite sure who.
Probably me.
Cool. Or at least do it quieter, because we had like Creed smoking into his mic the entirety of last session, but it was manageable, it was quiet. Anywho, we should probably do reminders. So, reminders from last session. Yuhnbric wants to engineer his problems away at the timber mill after he's done with his existential dread. Revere is supposed to be supervising Yuhnbric, which I guess, because Revere is actually Schlorp this session, we have no Callum, means it's gonna need to be a non-Khajiit. Oh boy. Well, Arnaulf, I'm sorry, but you seem to have engineered, you seem to have volunteered for this by not engaging in criminal pursuits.
Fine. I am very strong, so I can do heavy lifting.
Fair.
It's all that digging.
It's all coming up, Yuhnbric. I mean, apart from the existential dread and finding out your civilization has been dead for 4,000 years, but that's a small detail.
Plus, you just drank an immense amount of wine, which is actually the next point. So, Yuhnbric also drank 4 jugs of wine. Team Khajiit wants to rob some scrolls. You were in the middle of your robbery. Team Khajiit is in the middle of robbing the Riverwood Trader. I really need to stop explaining these before I get to them on the list. And Revere and Arnaulf are having a discussion in the Sleeping Giant, which I guess here is just Arnaulf talking into his cups. I mean, you want to talk. So, let's do the robbery first, as that left off at a reasonably good spot, I feel. What? That's the wrong set of notes right there. Here we go. Cool. I believe you wanted to steal scrolls, guys.
Yes.
That sounds like the thing we were doing.
Well, it is the thing you left a specific reminder for.
Oh yes, 'cause we're actually inside. Oh god, yeah, I actually remember where the fuck we were now. Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I've got track of our loot so far as well.
Yeah.
Just piling up, lads. I have plenty. It was bags allows you to carry double the encumbrance, doesn't it?
I'm not sure.
I
You'd
think
have to
they
check.
say how much they carry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the bag has its own value, but it
Yeah.
also reduces anything that could reasonably fit inside it by half.
Exactly, yeah. And I have a pouch which can carry 10.
So, how are you prioritizing scrolls? Because I think you got one more free, if I recall correctly, and then it was after that you have to start making stealth tests from the only person who has hands, which is Jomo.
Only person who has thumbs.
You don't have hands, you have paws.
Same thing, basically.
Hands
Just missing a
are
thumb.
differentiated
Just
by the
missing-
presence.
It's just missing a thumb.
Because the thing that makes it a hand is the presence of a thumb.
Nah.
Wasn't.
And less
But-
claws.
That is one of the things. You don't
you
have
have
fully
claws and they
articulated
have-
Young Nicholas, you don't have fully articulated fingers. You have paws.
Now, that's just mean. I wouldn't
No,
bring
it's
that up.
it's just true.
No.
So-
that's-
How are we doing the scrolls?
Whatever's closest, I suppose.
Just gonna grab at things randomly. Fair. Let's take a look. Okay, I think this is probably a luck roll in that case, Jomo. I'll take luck at a +10.
Oh boy! 37, so that's a 47. That's... Again,
I don't suppose it's a lucky number for you. That
nope.
is no 47.
Could use a luck point to reroll your luck roll.
I'll reroll lucks.
Can you not?
No. As you pointed out last week.
To be fair, it has been a week.
Isn't you can't use the luck to reroll? There's another thing.
Yeah, I think it's you can't reroll twice, surely. And he's not actually rerolled.
It's what is it? I'll have it here in a second.
Regardless, let me have a look. Cool. So you grab, we'll call it 2 random level 1 spell tomes and 1 random level 2 spell tome.
2 level 1s and 1 level 2.
Yeah. It's just the first ones on the
Falling
rack
Wood Elf
nearest
makes
to you.
makes its reappearance in Ewan's campaigns.
That would be a level 7 spell tome, actually. Oh, wait, these are spell tomes. I should be looking at scrolls. Spell scrolls. Oh, same.
You already said home.
No, you were looking for scrolls. Sorry, so 2 level 1 spell scrolls and 1 level 2.
And it's you can't use stamina and luck on the same roll.
Fair. Cool. What do in the shop, gents?
Can I do a quick perception, see if I can see anywhere where cold hard cash is being stored?
Sure, what would that be? That's gonna
So
be
cats.
perception. Oh, sorry, long day. Perception plus observe, please. I'll give you a +10.
Can I have a general look around as well? Will I stand in the middle of the room?
Yeah, but you're not ideally positioned because you're like facing the door, right?
It's true. It's true.
So that you can go if something happens.
Yes. Yes. It's just like a general left, right.
1 success.
1 success. You have a little bit of a look around as Jomo is grabbing scrolls off one of the shelves and actually do locate a small-ish lockbox, about the same size as perhaps 1.5 human babies, positioned underneath the main counter. It's sort of tucked away in a little bit of a corner, like someone's tried to put it out of view, but not put too much effort into putting it out of you.
I go up to old Jomo and go, meow. And I run up to the chest, put my paw on it and go, meow.
Okay, we'll just grab it and run.
Sure.
Fair. Okay. You nab the chest, you load it into one of the saddlebags, and then the three of you sneak out of the Riverwood Trader, quietly closing the door behind you and emerging into the cold, dark, though not to your enhanced Khajiit senses, night.
Well,
What
I
do
think
you
our
then?
plan from here was to go north of the city and make a camp for the night.
Have you guys taken note of what you stole, or?
I have a note of everything that was taken.
Okay, cool.
So I think technically it goes into Catclop's inventory.
Doing
Chat. There
Yeah,
you go.
actually, I was going to say Dowimbar. Like, I was looking at my list of characters, and I saw Dowimbar, and my mouth was forming the word. I went, wait, that's not the right name.
Yeah, when did you change it from Cat Clop?
Almost immediately. As soon as I'm like, I'll call it. Clack, I was like, no, Doimbar.
So you admit that you were initially called Catclop.
You named me.
I didn't name you. The
Yes,
par-
you did. You said, I'll call you Clip Club.
No, the party named you.
We did.
I did.
It's a very Ewan name thing.
Quiet, Carl.
No, I think it was an Ollie name, actually.
It was me, yeah.
And the best bit is, Nicholas, you can go back now and listen to how wrong you were.
I can. It's very true. It's true. Still, I didn't name me, and screw you guys.
It's fine. You consider your name to be Dowimbar, and your
No,
party,
his name. It is Doimbar.
and your party members keep introducing you as Catclop.
No, you do. The narrator. No
Well,
one.
I mean, I'm only going off of the majority vote.
aka me and Callum, don't even know your name in game.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually been brought up.
It's Cat Clop.
But we don't know you've got a name.
Screw you, Creed. Screw you.
So the small party, to the sounds of hushed bullying,
I can say my own name.
proceed. Well, you actually
I actually
can't.
can.
Not in Imperial.
Is it not the same?
No.
No.
You speak. What is it? Tugra?
Oh yeah. How would it sound in Nat?
So, remember, Tugra isn't just like a secret language. It's using an entirely different sort of set of vocal cords, basically. Like it's.
We can't speak Crow.
Yeah, it's that. You could
Even though Crow's
translate the
attempting.
meaning of a word or like the equivalent phonetic syllables, but whilst your name would be Dowimbar in Imperial, it sounds different in the Khajiit language, which I constantly forget the name of. Tagra. There we go. It messes me up because one of the main characters from Dark Reign 2 was called Togra, and I want to keep saying that because I played that game a lot as a child. And so your little party leaves Riverwood, moves slightly north until you come to a little bridge, cross that, and then make your ways some portion off the beaten track into the woods, where you come across a small grove and decide to settle up for the rest of the wintry night. Do you actually have any
Plans beyond?
Yeah. Beyond squatting in the cold, dark wood.
We have a tent, I believe.
Yep.
You do.
Pitch up the tent, have a nice rest.
Not lighting any fires though. We don't want to give our position away.
Attract attention to your horrid thievery.
We could try and get in that chest.
That's true.
Does the lock look like it's easy, perchance? Capable of being magic unlocked.
Where are the lock difficulties?
How much does the chest weigh?
Probably quite a lot.
Call it like 10 kilograms. You can hear a fair amount of things rattling around inside it.
Easily carried there.
I hope the
So you know
claw's in
last
there.
week about how you said that you were going to screw the Dragonborn over? Well done.
I mean, he went AFK at the shop for God knows how long.
Yeah.
It's amazing something didn't happen then.
Probably had things to do.
Did you grab the golden claw?
You couldn't find it.
No. Hopefully
Did
it's
we
in the
even-
box. I had a
Hopefully.
brief look.
Oh my god, if it's in the fucking box.
Because, yeah, I mean, I know in character we don't know that Benji was the one that appraised that. It's thus the most likely explanation for where it went.
I mean, if you're conducting a fair investigation, yes. Unfortunately, this
Three
is
Khajiits gone
rural
missing.
Skyrim, and 3 Khajiit have gone missing, who were last seen going out after curfew.
Also, Khajiit have gone missing, as has the Riverwood Traders lockbox. It doesn't take a
A
genius.
coincidence.
They might get him as an associate, like
Also-
he came into town with them. Depends how much Delphine feels like testifying for him.
Also, if it's just a chest, what's the chances that I can just stand on it to break it open?
It depends how much you want to deform whatever's inside it.
Yeah.
Melt it down, set it. If it's not a gem, fuck it.
Money exists.
Yeah, fine.
We'll just
Not
unbend
if you
the
put
coin.
enough pressure on it to smash the lockbox, it won't. Sorry, I'm
Not
still
that
looking.
heavy.
Well, if you can break through it with just your weight, then yes. What do you think? Why would you not make the lockbox?
If I polar beared it, if I'd like to go, doom.
I'm not saying you can't get into it. I'm not even saying you can't force it open. I'm just saying if you do it that specific way, you might damage things. I'm still trying to find the bloody lock thing. I'm turning up every instance of block.
Is there not an index?
I was in the Wraith index all yesterday, and it's made me incredibly untrustworthy of indexes. Words can... Oh no, we've all played White Wolf games now. We all know quite how bad.
We all know the evil.
Goddamn. I mean, I love Wraith as a setting, but fuck me, it is hands down the worst White Wolf. I know it's Onyx Path, but Onyx Path then index I've ever used in anything. Well, I've now looked through all 72 instances of the word lock. Can't see shit. We'll say it's a medium lock, whatever that means.
Neo, can you unlock that, Mr. Cole?
It's casting at second level, I believe.
I don't know if any of these are actual rules or if we've just been making this up.
I think you may have just been making it up.
Probably.
I'm trying to find the actual spells.
It's alteration, isn't it? Is it
We'll
alteration?
say you need level 3 or above.
Open
Okay,
page
then, well, I've got
90.
level 3.
Sorry?
Page 90 for the.
No, I didn't hear what Carl said.
I have level 3.
Oh yeah, cool. Then no, it's you have a little bit of an examination of it, and it doesn't look massively complex. It's definitely at like the outer edge of your skill level, but it should still be doable.
Damn, it is. It is doable.
Yeah.
With... so close, but it's only 1 degree of success.
It
Almost 2.
You've had a lot of rotten luck recently with casting spells, but now here inside this tent, with Catclop's head poked in through the doorway, and your priestly master sat atop your shoulders, you actually have the time to weave reasonable spells without needing to be too silent, and to make the correct motions with your hands. The lockbox, after just a few seconds of ritualized incantations and gestures, pops open. Who's opening it?
Some man, I presume.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
We are in thumbs, we can't!
That's not how boxes work. How do you not understand?
I'm going to make this
I think it has a
painful
latch
for
on
you.
it or something.
So
I
you
mean,
think that you can open a bag, but you don't think that you...
You seem to have seems like a very convenient idea of fingers and thumbs, don't you, Nick?
It really does.
Okay. Okay.
Right, I'm gonna be right back for 2 minutes.
Fair.
Yes, go scream into a pillow.
Not fall down this thumb hole again. You open the lockbox, and inside is, we'll call it 60, 70 septims worth of assorted denominations of currency, and one moderately sized golden dragon claw.
Ooh.
Right, so I'm just gonna split the difference, call that 65 septims worth of currency.
Sure.
So,
It's a good haul.
yeah.
What do? Just gonna go to sleep for the night?
Yeah.
No worries, no need for a watch. So I guess we're calling this our long rest, right?
Yeah, with no watch. Okay, yep, yeah, no, you can.
I'll take a first watch at least.
No one's
Say
coming.
last watch.
Alright, so that's a long rest for the cat there. Oh, sorry, for the small cat. But large and medium cats, it sounds like no long rest. You can still regen fatigue if you've spent any, which I don't think we have.
Can we not
Well,
do the-
the long rest at 8 hours gives you 4 hours time to do stuff like maintenance actions and such as well. So
Oh, does it? Oh, fair. Well, that presumably covers then. Yeah, reasonable. Carry on. Long rest for everyone.
Yeah. Is that all health and stuff, the usual?
I don't think long rest regenerates all health, young Nicholas.
I know it does magicka.
Probably not for me.
Yeah, not for an Atronach. Which means, as we're just waiting for Benji for a moment, Yuhnbric, how are you doing? You've sobbed your way through 4 jugs of wine. You're sat in your room with the door ajar. What do?
So I'm at that point of drunk now where I'm desperately trying to search for the next one, but I've lost all coordination, and it's in fact an impossible task.
That's fair. You hear a slight knock at the door, and Delphine's head comes round the side. You all right, my love?
No, it's it's been a long day.
As your eyes blink wearily, Delphine just kind of isn't there.
Are you magic?
And then her head comes back round the door. Are you all right, my love?
Are there? Do you have a twin?
I think I've given you too much wine.
I have returned.
I sort of drunkenly stumble to my feet. Is there? Yeah. What do I do?
Oh, I think you should probably go to bed, my son. You're not doing well. I didn't realise you were going to have all the wine to yourself.
Did you see anyone else come up to my room with me and crying?
Well, I rather thought your friends were going to come back, but they've been gone for a while now.
I sort of I collapse onto the bed and look up at her with big teary eyes. What do you do when you find out you've lost everything?
So Delphine actually gets a fairly soulful look on her face. Comes in, sits down next to you on the bed, puts one arm around your slumped frame. Now, believe it or not, my lover, I actually kind of know what you mean. Now, in my experience, and I don't know exactly what you're going through, you need to make time to grieve, and you need to pick yourself up and find a new everything somewhere else.
Maybe I could do that with these people. The ones who I was with tonight.
And it's also worth pointing out that you definitely shouldn't just latch on to the first group of people you stumble into. Now, if you feel that they're good friends, then that's absolutely fine. But there's a decent chance... There's a decent chance that those Khajiit have been out there shitting for 4 solid hours at this point.
Just all over the place.
I'd stick with your Nordic friend. He seems a little bit more on the ball.
Is he here?
Oh.
Kind of. So, Arnaulf, you've been sat there having a quiet bevy with Delphine, and she's gone off to check on the mer. You see her head duck out of the room that you rented. Arnaulf, my lover, could you come in here a little bit? I think Yuhnbric would like to speak to you.
Wait, what's up?
Will you be my new best friend?
He's having a bit of a night.
Sure. I mean, I'm not quite sure what you're wanting to do with everything, but you're quite welcome to come join me on my Dwemer's digs if you want. Sorry, my Dwemer digs.
Tell me everything you know about the Dwemer.
He's an
Everything I
archaeologist, my
know.
love. Yeah, that might take a while.
That's gonna take a while.
I'm here all night. I don't think I'm moving anywhere. My legs appear to have stopped functioning. I sat down, and then I've lost the will to stand. Well, my legs have anyway.
Right.
Delphine begins clearing away the wine jugs, tidying the room.
Right. Well, my primary aim is to get well known enough to be able to start activating in Blackreach, or as the Dwemer called it, Falzarum Din.
I shudder at the pronunciation, assuming it's terribly wrong, but I get the gist of it.
Sorry, my mate. I'll do that right. Sorry. Falzarum Din. I knew I should. No, you gotta put on the correct accent when you're talking into Dwemerus.
I have such intense regrets. Carry on.
I've done lots of minor digging around, but obviously it's a shame I wasn't born a few hundred years previous. After the Red Year, a lot of Dwemer artifacts and stuff over there in Morrowind just went up in smoke.
Come. I guess I will just spend the night listening to stories of the Dwemer. There's a small, tiny... You know how everyone, when they're incredibly drunk, still has that tiny voice? At least when you're a certain level of drunk. Has that tiny voice in the back of their head that's still telling them calm, logical things. And it's like, don't worry, we'll just wait until tomorrow. There's a little part of me that's trying to essentially mine the information here.
Equally, I'm just... Can I make... No, because I'm gonna keep role-playing it. I failed to notice earlier that I am literally sitting across from the last user of tonal architecture in the entire world.
I don't think he was a tonal architect. I think, disappointingly, he was a rocket scientist.
Oh.
So this being Elder Scrolls, there is potentially some overlap, but he wasn't a tonal architect.
I was about to say he's the last fucking. But it's still funny.
No, it is extremely.
I still
funny.
don't realise that I'm sitting across from the last Dwemer.
Because he's got the beard braids and everything, but he just kind of looks like a Dunmer to you.
Not that he knows what a Dunmer is.
No, and he probably has to stop you to clarify a number of terms. The Morrowind, for instance. The fuck is that?
Morrowind, Imperial Province, home of the island of Vardenfell, the Tribunal Gods, well, were the has-been gods. I've never really been understood what the bloody hell's going on there. Nobody really does. Sufferers of the Red Year, where they finally got paid back by the Argonians for being such colossal dicks.
I'm nodding as though I understand all of this, but part of me inside is screaming. In a good way, it's mostly good screaming.
No, that's fair. Cool. Let's see how much of a story you're able to get told here. Arnaulf Finson. Oh, that is not particularly well expanded cheat. Cool. Right. I'll take a profession Dwemer archaeologist role, please. Over. Do we have intelligence? Yes, intelligence.
Okay, Craig, could you roll that for me quickly? Sorry,
we'll call it a plus 30.
Okay, at a plus 30, I am aiming for 72. Oh wait, does that plus 30 include my profession bonus?
No.
So do I get my profession bonus on top of that? Or
Yes.
Not? Okay, that's a 92 I'm aiming for. What did I get?
2
cap at 90.
2 degrees, yeah.
Yay!
I thought you were a lot less trained than you were.
Let me tell you a song of my people.
Yeah, no, you actually get... there's a fair amount of gaps in your knowledge, but you get relatively caught up on a fair number of things here, Ollie. Yuhnbric is incredibly aware now of the fact that it was the goddamn Eastern Dwemer that got you all fucked. Your entire civilization wiped out by their hijinks, and this means now that you look like a dark elf, which I guess
Even
that's a fucking thing. What?
Even if I'm an archaeologist, do I know about the Battle of Red Mountain and all that stuff?
Battle of Red Mountain is public knowledge.
Okay.
The interpretation of what happened varies massively. Like, the Dunmer historically claimed that it was either the Dwemer's own atheist comeuppance that got them, or maybe the Daedra did it, or maybe the Tribunal did it somehow, even though they didn't actually exist as a thing at that point. It varies, and then after the Tribunal stops being a thing, it varies even more. Yes. And so the evening passes, which means that you never actually quite make it out to the woodmill. But you have at least figured out the basics of the situation. The two of you are awakened in the morning by angry yelling. And I guess roll is it stamina? Roll me stamina, please, Ollie.
Could someone roll that for me? Actually, no, I'll do it.
Endurance.
Endurance, thank you, Nicholas.
Yep. 1 second. On a side note, I think I mixed the flour in at the first step rather than the last step, and now I think I've overdone the flour, so this thing is incredibly
You can mix the flour in
glutinous.
whenever.
It's just, it feels a lot tackier than I was expecting. It feels a lot stickier, but we'll see. Endurance, 38 or under.
I believe.
Oh, wow. 38.
Against all odds, because I really should have given you a difficulty modifier, your hangover is not that bad.
Just like real life.
I'll kill you, Ollie.
Good times.
So, yeah, no, you wake up with a less than ear-splitting headache somehow. Evidently, the hours of talking and existential dread has done miracles for your liver. But the two of you do wake up in the morning to the sound of yelling coming from the front room. You can hear Delphine's voice, raised and defensive, and the voice that you both would have heard yesterday, actually, as Revere is schlorped, of the local guard from the watchtower. Or watchpost. What do?
What do I do specifically?
Yeah,
I
you
guess
or Ollie. Ollie, Benji.
I'm still hungover, I suppose. So
You are, but it's manageable.
I get up and I'm there, like, I'm looking down, and I probably don't have the best temperament when I'm drunk and discover my civilization is lost. Like, that's probably enough to put most people into a somewhat bad mood.
Yeah.
So I yell, "Who the hell is loudening at this time in the morning?"
The voices in the next room go slightly quiet for a moment. And then there's the sound of 2 sets of running footsteps. The guard from before bursts into the room. Aha! There you are, hiding.
I was sleeping!
I'm arresting both of you on suspicion of hanging out with suspicious characters.
Mate,
Delphine
that is not a
skids
crime.
into view. It's a crime if I say it's a crime. I am the law.
That's not how this works.
Can I...
Who the hell do you think
do
you're
I have any
talking to? I
spells?
am the law. Do you have any
Mate,
spells?
you're the guard. You're the guard of one scabby little provincial town, mate.
Here,
You are not the law.
I'll beat you up, sir.
Will you really?
Can I roll a logic? And try and logic my way out of this?
I think it's a fairly emotional situation, Ollie.
It's fair. It's fair.
There's a straight up law skill.
Is that law or lore are you talking about?
I'm not too
LAW.
sure.
There is a straight up LAW skill, which I have, by the way.
There's LORE, isn't it?
There's LORE, and then there is LAW.
I'm not saying an LAW.
I'm
I
not
thought
saying
there was.
LAW. No.
It's LORE, which is law knowledge, not... you could hypothetically have law, but law and law are different.
Law.
Or professional
English
lawman.
language.
I mean, homonyms are not uncommon. And those aren't even technically homonyms, they just sound similar.
So I have quick check.
Dwemer archaeologist profession.
No, I have that. Yeah, it's just one. I swear I took something specific. I took lots of skills.
You did. You are a
I'm just
novice
gonna see-
in law, but law isn't a specialist skill. Sorry,
I want to see. Wait, I'm going to have a look at
please stop
UESRPG.
breathing into your mic, Nicholas. Sorry.
Okay, just going to quickly look if there's any alteration spells. Maybe turn him into a tree.
It's fair. That is assaulting a guard, for the record.
Can't tell anyone if he's a fucking tree, can he?
he steps towards Arnaulf Finson. In fact, forget the Myrrh, you're the one who was associating with the Khajiit, and you're the one who appraised the Golden Claw yesterday. Now, are you going to come with me quietly to the... Delphine, have you got any spare rooms? Delphine, in the doorway, looks at him aghast. I'm not letting you commandeer a spare room as a jail cell.
If you pay for this one, we can use this one.
He looks at Delphine, he looks back at you guys, he looks at Delphine.
Prisoners are paying for their own jail cell.
Alright, well, seeing as how I don't actually have a cell to move you to at the moment, Delphine, give me the keys for this. I'm going to lock them in here for now until I've finished investigating the crime scene so that they don't skip town. Delphine sort of looks between him and you guys, trying to eye up the potential likelihood of which one's going to result in more damage to her tavern.
Right, my mate, I will quite happily follow you to help with your inquiries. But quite frankly, what kind of moron do you think I am that I'd team up with a team of Khajiit and then not bloody leave after they committed a theft?
I mean, you're the one who used the phrase moron, but I think that is the word, yes.
Right, you don't get many crimes do you?
No, we're actually quite a sleepy town, but I knows crime when I sees it, and theft, grand theft claw, is in fact a crime. Well, I mean, that isn't specifically, but grand theft horse is.
Right, you can't be arguing that I am somehow guilty on some tenuous association with Khajiit I met yesterday, when you're also arguing that grand theft horse and grand theft dragon claw are apparently the same thing.
Ah, so you know it was a dragon claw, I see.
Of course I know it was a bloody dragon claw. I appraised the damn thing yesterday.
Ah, so you
If I
admit you
wanted it
appraised
cheap, I'd have just told him that it was worth nothing and got him to sell it to me for nothing. But I told him it was worth quite a lot and even recommended places he could bloody sell it.
Now, I do feel like there might be something to this story of yours. You do seem like a fairly clever, big city intellectual type. Plus you have this elf.
I snort when I hear that.
Something funny there. Do I have a beating?
He said it.
Looks down and brings out a cudgel. Don't think I won't beat your face in.
I'm on Skyrim.
I hear what he's saying, and I guess I stopped laughing.
He seems to actually puff up in a little bit of pride at that. That's the first respect he's been shown since entering the building. Puts the cudgel away. Alright now. If you'll stay here, Delphine, you lock them in and give me the key, and I'm going to go about my investigations. Now, if you're innocent, I'm sure you'll have nothing to worry about, other than potentially the odd face beating, but we'll try not to.
Mate, you can try, but it will not end well for you.
Now, threatening a guard is a crime. And I'm
not threatening him. I'm not threatening him. I am merely informing him of a fact.
That was 100% a threat.
Is it a crime to be a moron in this sleepy town?
I would just like to turn to the mirror and roll my eyes. Apparently not.
He sort of scratches his beard. Yeah, no, I hate to agree with the possible criminal, but I don't think it's a crime to be a moron. We definitely have a budget for a jail cell if that were the case.
Yeah. I put my hand on my face. Yes, I can see.
Alright. And with that, he huffs out of the room. Delphine sort of quietly looks at the two of you. I think it would be best if you stayed in here. I'm not going to lock you in. Outhouse is out the back. I'll bring you some lunch in a little bit, but don't go running. It's just going to make things more complex for everyone. And try not to push his buttons.
Lovely person.
And please try not to push his buttons. I know he's a fucking idiot, but the man tried to arrest a cart 2 days ago. If you think that he won't get himself killed trying to arrest you, and at that point you're going to bring the whole of Whiterun down on you. Or, you know, in a couple of weeks when they find out. So let's just take it calm, de-escalate. With that, she leaves the room, closes the door, conspicuously locks the door, and then unlocks it again in the same motion. Walks off.
I turn to Arnold. On a slightly different note, did they ever discover anything magically explosive in any of the ruins by any chance? Have you ever heard any tales of like we might? I'm trying to get myself distracted from this situation. I'm just.
Oh,
I'm wondering if
tales!
Any
Ain't no tales of that. Old Bugman died to a blooming explosive last year. Blew his leg clean off. It did.
Magical explosions in a large cylinder, perhaps, in any of the old Dwemer ruins. I've heard tales of this, and I'm wondering if it's ever been come up.
I don't think it is anything about in a large cylinder. It's mostly people walk up to a wall that's got funny symbols on it and a bunch of sliding buttons, press the wrong thing or press the thing in the wrong order, and suddenly the whole thing goes bang. I mean, once I saw, back when I was an apprentice, there was a bloke and he was convinced that this key, this button, had some kind of special meaning. It said save get on it, so he just kept pressing it. But all it did was drop a bunch of snakes on his head.
Yeah, they do that sometimes. I mean, interesting.
Meanwhile, outside town, Khajiit camp. Oh, as I said that,
you mean the Khajiit camp? Because they've been shitting for so long. Whee!
I'm not even reacting to that. So
response doesn't.
You actually did arrange for watchmen, other than the small cat who slept the night away, dozing lightly in the tent, as is his wont. And who was taking last watch? I think it was Catclop, right?
No, I was last.
Oh, you were last.
Was first.
Right. So, okay,
I was first. Yeah.
Catclop is sleeping peacefully. Jomo, however, you've been up for a few hours, basically, just watching the sunrise, when you hear not panicked yelling, but slight yelling in the distance. And the reluctantly familiar sounds, I suspect, given your backstory and careers, of a search party in the distance.
Yeah.
Says Sanzarium in his sleep.
I would like to wake the other two gently.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're cats. They're not too difficult to wake silently. They may be a bit grouchy about it, but they do wake up.
Come, we must disassemble camp and move on.
Yeah. Very well.
Shoulder.
Okay. So the three of you set about disassembling your camp and presumably hiding any trace that you've been here. I'll take a survival roll. You've probably done this before, so survival of a +10.
I can do that. I think survival goes off. Where are you?
I suspect perception or agility.
Int or perception? I'll use perception.
That's fair.
You say a +10, was it?
Yes.
Cool. And I'm a novice. And 49.
That looks like 5 doff to me.
That's gonna have to
Unless
be a lucky
lucky
point.
number.
No, it's not a lucky number either. I'll use a luck to reroll that.
5 doff and change.
Talos says no.
Talos says no indeed. And you can't
Sorry.
re-roll it again. Which means
Why?
Which means you're busy like kicking up the remnants of the camp, trying to cover your tracks, basically, sort of making a mess of things with your paws, basically trying to make it look like an animal passed through here rather than 3 Khajiit with a tent. When halfway through, you hear a twig snap. The other 2 Khajiit, or more realistically, Jomo with some observation, have finished packing up the tent. When behind you hoves into view the form of a burly, near-nude Nord. He's in a strange crouching posture, and you're almost uncertain, you're actually quite uncertain how he's got this close to you. His eyes are locked on the large cat.
Chance, does he look familiar?
You instantly recognize him, yes. He's the Nord from the shop and the Nord from Helgen.
Greetings, friend. You wouldn't happen to know which way they're coming from?
His face shows basically no emotion. I do. But I've been promised a reward if I bring back that claw.
Could we have a quick huddle?
You go to huddle, but he throws himself at you. In fact, specifically at Catclop. Axe
Damn water
raised.
hobos.
Wow.
Catclop.
Yes.
For all his foreboding size, his movement is actually quite clumsy and sluggish. What do?
Can like sidestep him and then slash him?
Yeah, sure, I'll take a weapon skill.
After he's done, can I calm him?
We'll see what happens with the slash.
God, attacking, because weapon skill isn't a thing.
There are attack
I should
styles
really
or
read
something.
the bloody rules for one setting
combat.
I run.
Yeah, there are combat styles.
Okay, cool. What's your combat style?
Mine is hand to hand. Oh yes, yes, I see. I got you now. Yeah. And it goes off of strength or agility, so we'll go with strength. And it's at journeyman, so it's +20.
I'll give you another +10 for advantage.
Nice. That's 82. Now, god fucking damn it. Thank you. That's 3 degrees of success. 4 degrees of success because I have the vicious trait, so it goes up by 1.
Fair. So claws, 1d4 slashing.
1d10 for me.
1d10 for you. That makes more sense. Do you get a damage bonus for DOS? Oh no, that's a house rule, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, no, it's 3 degrees, and the bonus goes to resolving damage. Yeah, so it's the 1d10 plus 1, I guess. Slashing do anything?
Sorry, hold on a second. I'm just looking to see.
Slashing weapon with this quality, tear flash with ease, dealing extra damage equal to the wielder's strength bonus against unarmored hit locations.
You know what? You're a big fuck off tiger, and you got 5 DOS. So you slash him right in the. Give me a D10 for the hit location.
Is it the D10 for the hit location?
Yes, I kind of wish it was wound into the regular hit roll, but it is not.
Strange. I mean, with the extra thing, it's +1, so it's 7.
That I don't think that's to hit location though.
That's true, actually.
Don't just add random +1s to things, Nicholas. Check what it is supposed to add a +1 to.
1 point higher for resolving damage.
Cool. So it's for your damage roll basically, but. Here we go. So 6 is right leg. Yeah, no, your claw catches him in the right leg and it comes flying off. He drops to the ground, fragile and dying.
God damn it, young Nicholas!
Now, this reminds me how I started another campaign. Wait.
I want to cast silence on him before he starts shouting.
You're getting ready to do it when reality kind of shimmers.
My connection went for a second.
Sorry,
It's fine. The Dragonborn save's coming.
You're getting ready to do it when reality kind of shivers. Yuhnbric, you're discussing your situation with Arnaulf when he almost seems to kind of judder to the side slightly, as though he wasn't quite where he was sat a moment ago, and then just repeats the last sentence he said.
I don't know what the last sentence I said was.
You were calling the guard and insulting... Okay, give me your most creative insult twice in a row for a one-liner. Ooh, tense. Doesn't have to be that dramatic. Give me a creative insult.
I mean... I really can't think.
Okay, you were calling him an inbred, idiotic waste of space who should never have been born. Although, arguably that's implied by the inbred.
Yeah.
But you were kind of waxing lyrical on it. And the line repeated. Meanwhile, back at the... So, that is an observation you are aware of, Yuhnbric. Meanwhile, back at the Khajiit camp, you've just asked the Dragonborn... Or not the Dragonborn, goddammit. You've just asked this random Nord... You fucks got me doing it. This random Nord, which direction they're coming from.
I mean, he can save scum. He's either Talos or he's the Dragonborn.
You don't know that. Cat, do not stand on the microphone. What are you doing? So, he looks at you all and then stands up out of his weird crouch stance, points directly at the sort of bridge you crossed to get over. I think this is the River White, in fact. Yeah, to get over the River White. They're coming from that way.
Did he go back to it? He saved before coming at us.
Don't you? Do you not save before combat encounters, young Nicholas?
Did he actually save before combat? Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a fantasy setting.
No, totally.
I love this so much.
Ah, thank you, helpful stranger. Here, take this as a reward for your kindness. And I would like to pass him the dragon claw.
Perfect.
And thus, the timeline reasserts itself.
Excellent. I think I should be able to throw them off your tracks with this.
It's appreciated, good sir.
And he wanders
We will
off.
remember this.
It's not the same game. He wanders off peacefully.
Doesn't matter.
So everyone else was unaware of the save scumming that just happened apart from me, and I'm not even sure what it was. I just saw time repeat itself. Like it did last night, I suppose.
You saw time repeat itself, yes.
But a different outcome happened over there. But I don't know that yet. Cool.
Wait, is our reality just going to disappear? We spend as a fucking video game.
This is what happens when you have a dweller. Occasionally your realities just disappear. I can't promise.
No, that's your race.
Alright, racist.
It's true.
Can't just say these things, man.
They didn't disappear, they became the skin of a giant fighting robot. It just looked... No, that's actually probably what
Yeah,
happened.
that
just,
literally can.
It just looked like they disappeared.
Oh my god.
And then that robot eventually punched Atlantis, filled with Nazis. But the punch broke time, and so the punch never finished. And to this day, they're still punching Atlantis Nazis.
It happens.
It does, actually. That robot turns up a lot. So, we'll say the group back at the Sleeping Giant Inn. What are you doing? You've, Yuhnbric, you've just seen another weird sort of... What's the right phrasing, I guess?
Time and repeat.
Yeah, another little weird loop, a strange scutter in reality. And you're currently not trapped, but soft advised to not run away in here, in your cell.
How much do I remember of the evening?
Most of it, actually. You didn't wake up that hungover, so you're being hit with waves of crippling social anxiety and dread and horror.
Yeah. Cool, so basically like every Friday night then. Cool. I guess I would remember the doubling, and I'm going to wonder if that's related, though I'm going to be pretty certain I was just quite drunk when I saw that.
You have also just come to the conclusion that you've flown forward, by your count as of last night, 4 eras through time, which is some thousands of years.
So I'm going to immediately assume, based on the time skipping I'm seeing, there's still some time fuckery around me. And therefore I am now absolutely petrified I'm going to destroy or disappear out of this reality as well. I am assuming from this moment onwards that all time bullshittery I see is somehow related to my presence.
It's not a bad assumption.
I'm going to... I don't know if I have the math skills for it, but would I be able to engineer up a solution to maybe detect time fuckery?
I guess technically it was within your sort of rocket sciencey field, because TESS is a strange thing, or at least arguably, because we made rocket science and time travel related for reasons.
It's a great sentence to hear.
If you had like a laboratory or at least a chalkboard or some time to work with, then potentially, yeah.
I was actually wondering about a chalkboard. Okay, I'm going to shout out the door. Delphine!
Takes her a couple of minutes, but she comes by actually holding a small cheese tray with a hunk of bread on top. Alright, yes, no, lunch is coming. What's up?
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you have anything I can write on? And any sort of tray, like some chalk and a board I could write on or something?
I don't have a chalkboard. We're a tavern, but I've got an old tome you could write in if you've got a quill.
I have an engineer's tool set on me presumably they'll have some form of mechanical pencil in at least.
That tickles me. Yes, sure, why not? The Dwemer has a mechanical pencil because Dwemer. The only mechanical pencil. No, there'd be other like artifact mechanical pencils scattered through Dwemer ruins. It's my headcanon now. Oh,
I'm glad the headcanon that you're enjoying.
Yeah, no, she comes back a few minutes later with an old, worn-out spell tome. Half the runes are smudged. It used to teach you how to cast light spells, but honestly, it's been worthless for years now. Waterlogged. Should be dry enough to write on, though. Amazing.
Thank you ever so much. I also have animist as a profession. So I'm an engineer and an animist. Would this help in any way, or should I just use my engineer talent?
So, sorry, I got Pillar of Eternity flashbacks for a second there. So in this context, animist would be soul chip stuff, basically. Like you're functionally a roboticist.
Yes, that's kind of what I'm going for.
So I don't think that helps here.
That's fair enough. In which case, I'm just going to go for the engineer, I suppose, and see if I can just think up of something I can use to detect weird eddies in the currents of time around me.
Fair. Cool.
We'll strange drums as well.
Is that your profession, right?
Yes, that's a profession. I'm a journeyman engineer.
Cool. I'll take profession engineer at a -20.
Cool. So I have journeyman, which is a +30 or a +20.
I think it's a +30 because your Nicholas was at a +20 for novice.
Okay.
20.
Cool.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yeah, because I get a +20 in all my tests with the Thum, and I'm a journeyman.
Yeah, journeyman's 20.
Yeah, journeyman is +20. My bad.
Cool.
Adepts is +30.
Nice. Okay, in which case that is intelligence at 51 or under. Yep, I make that.
Okay. I almost wasn't expecting
that.
Yeah, what's your DOS?
Sorry, 26, 36, 3 degrees.
3 degrees. Cool. So Arnaulf, you're kind of watching him do weird scribbly maths in his notebook, and you've really got nothing else to do in this room apart from eat the cheese and bread and watch the elf freak out. When the thought twigs to you halfway through, he's very clearly writing in Dwemeris. Arnaulf?
Do I see him looking at me?
I think you're caught up in the, oh god, I might pop out of existence, exactly like happened to the rest of my race, because this is apparently a thing, bubble at the moment. You're on your 3 degrees of success. I need to stabilize the timelines.
Okay.
We'll get to you in a second, though. It's just, this is a bit of time.
I see you too speak Dwemeris. Wonderful language, isn't it?
It's elegant and full of poise and wonder and...
I wouldn't have said elegant, but beautifully functional. I tried to learn Dwemeris when I was a kid, but quite frankly, I just couldn't get... They never get to the bloody point. You'll spend half a day saying that it's a pleasant day today, how are you?
That's potentially because you just didn't know the right... Yes.
And then the Mer lapses off into one of his weird silences. Dark elves, am I right?
I'll be back in just 1 second. We can still hear
we were about to do your DOS, though.
I mean, you're a dark elf, though. I mean, what the hell?
He's not there.
Also, I said that.
Alright.
Cool. So, 3 DOS. You are an engineer by trade, but you are also a Dwemer engineer from an age of bizarrely superior science in many ways. And whilst temporal anomalies are not exactly your speciality, you can think of a number of ways that they would likely impact the sort of direct physics of the world you're operating in. And as an engineer, that is something empirical which you can measure. It takes you perhaps an hour of frantic scribbling, occasionally punctuated by Arnaulf coming in here with observations that he really admires your dedication to writing into Ameris, but honestly, you'd be better off in almost any other language if you're going for brevity. What do you... It's just math squiggles anyway. Fanboys. You eventually come up with the design for a device which you are pretty certain would detect major temporal anomalies in your area, like call it 100 meters around you. It is something that you would need access to some modest amount, like a standard blacksmith basically. You would need raw materials and a decent forge to actually make the thing, but you're pretty sure this would work as a reasonable dowsing rod, something handheld if a bit weighty that suits.
Awesome. After I'm done with my scribbles, I call for Delphine again.
Delphine is on her way over when you hear a firm knock in the distance, the outside of the tavern.
I can imagine who that is. I shut the door and pretend it's locked as hard as I can behind me.
You hear vague murmurings and mutterings coming on the way up to your little room that two of you are theoretically trapped in. I need to stop doing finger quotes because they're not going to show on the recording. Yes.
Just shout finger quote before you quote something.
Sure, why not? And also, never. Delphine very publicly speaks up and when she gets to sort of just a few meters away. Yes, no, and they've been locked in there all morning. I haven't heard so much of a peep, so much as a peep out of them since I took them lunch. The key goes into the door, locks it, unlocks it, and then the door swings open.
I'm gonna slide the book under the bed.
Delphine stands out of the way, giving the two of you a sort of knowing smirk, actually, before the guard comes into view. His helmet now clutched under one arm in a gesture of, I suppose, respect. I regret to announce that the two of you are free to go.
Regret.
A local vagrant, I suppose, came through earlier whilst we were searching the woods for the Khajiit. It seems that they fell into the river trying to cross it and drowned. The vast majority of the stolen goods were lost, though we did recover the golden, or well, the vagrant recovered the golden claw, which supposedly you all would have helped to steal. It's pretty clear that you weren't in on the deal, as
we said, exactly.
As you said, yes. So I'm afraid you are released from this holding cell, and I bid you good day, fine citizens of the Skyrim. And he stands there awkwardly for a moment in silence.
You are forgiven. You did an excellent job, guardsman. Straight top work there. Well done.
He actually kind of smiles a little at that. Thank you, sir. It's a difficult job out here, as being the only guard in a village which was recently almost assaulted by a dragon. But I hope to continue living up to the hopes and dreams that the public have for me. And I hope that you will all speak well to your friends of Riverwood and visit us again soon in the future.
Only if you give us one get out of jail free card.
I see what you did there, but that would be highly illegal. Delphine behind him's eyes are just rolling continually.
Right, I presume our property's not been impounded in any way?
Oh no, that would have been quite smart actually, wouldn't it? No, your property's not been impounded.
Okay, we'll collect that. We should be out of your hair anyway. Again, I'll leave my card with Delphine if anyone should have need of an archaeologist.
Alright, fair. I don't think I will, personally. I mostly deal with the living.
But you never know.
well, I'll be off then. And he sort of awkwardly turns in a very overly I want to be in the military fashion and trumps away. Delphine enters the room, shuts the door gently after her. Right, well, I hate to be harsh, but at this point you have stayed past when you were supposed to, though I understand that there was good reason for that, and obviously no extra charge for that or for lunch. No rush, it's not like we're full up with customers, but you'll want to be making tracks soon or you're going to lose the light.
Cool.
I will say this, though, as I do everywhere I go. If you see any symbols that look like this, or anyone gets any word of any symbols that look like this, please let me know. I'd like to... See, I know the symbol for Foos, right?
Yeah.
Because I obviously know the shout. Can I just put on the... Can I write down the symbol for Foos and give it to her on a card?
I mean, I don't think you... Sorry, I don't think you speak the language, but you can speak Dova without speaking, without shouting it. Basically, it's possible.
Yeah, no, I just want to know that if anyone sees the symbol. I don't.
Oh, fair.
I'm not asking if anyone speaks it. I'm asking if anyone, like, if they find basically if they find anything with these symbols on it, could they let me know?
She takes it and looks at you. Interesting times. Noted.
As I passed by her...
If you I should probably say yes. If obviously I'm not around or I've not been heard from for a little bit, please send it via the Finson family Dawnstar.
Duly noted. And with that, she goes to leave the room when... Sorry, the pair of bunny ears behind Ollie. When Yuhnbric moves to squeeze past her.
I give her a hug.
She bristles slightly for a moment and then relaxes into it.
And in my hand, I take out a single Dwemer coin and I sort of just palm it over to her. And then I want to do that thing that people do in movies and video games where they give you that knowing look and they walk away without saying
She takes it and receives your look. Stay strong there, my friend. It'll be all right.
The sun will come out tomorrow.
I'm so alone. There's no one here beside me. Apart from, you know, my new friends.
What for that? She's right there.
I'm not saying that out loud. Oh, it's boobs in my face. Not bad.
Right on the recording.
Hello, all 6 of you who listen to this. This has just become not safe for work.
There are 7 of us. Callum as well. He's just not here this week.
There is that one sex bot that comments on the videos.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary the sex bot. Everyone loves Gary the sex bot. His name is John.
What time capsule we're going to put this in, right?
To his friends.
No.
You're going to take my place for a second? I just need to go check on the brownies.
So.
Well, Yuhnbric, you've suddenly changed your accent.
Yeah.
A rogue pair of bunny fingers appear. So Khajiit, let's just double check what's going on with you guys. You seem to have gotten away with it.
Nice. Perfect.
After a little while, you hear the search parties die off and seem to head back to town. What do?
Say, camp out somewhere by the road. Hope our new friends show up. If not, just head towards the cart.
Yeah. You move a little bit further down through the forest so that you're commensurately far away from the now hopefully ended search parties, and then move up to the road and just sit there and wait. Arnaulf and Yuhnbric, do you have anything else that you're doing in Riverwood? Are you going to start moving off towards your lost scrolls and such?
I would like to see if I can get any of the materials.
It would be like iron, leather strips, etc. Yeah. The Riverwood Trader would be the only place in town that actually sells them, and they're not having a good day.
They're not amenable.
I'll move on from there.
But if you're willing to share your needs with Arnaulf, he would be more than aware that the nearest large settlement that's likely to house suitable facilities would be Whiterun.
And that seems to be the direction we're heading anyway. So, I discussed with him what I'm doing. Not what I'm doing specifically, what the object is, but that I would like some materials.
Sounds like we're headed to Whiterun there, which we probably were anyway. I really want that shovel back.
We'll get you that. Actually, could I start? Do I still have the tomb on me? I suppose I'm keeping it now.
Tome.
Yes. Sorry, I don't know why I always get that one. That's the you know what?
No, you always do. It's great. Like you always say Tomb of Fate in Black Crusade, and that's
it's like a D&D module.
Yeah, that's the D. Well, it's not because there's Tomb of Horrors, but there is a Tomb of Fate in something, I swear, and I can't remember what it is at all.
Tomb of Fate is in Black Crusade.
No, that's Tome of Fate.
Tome of Fate. Oh, Tomb of Fate. I see.
Tomb of Fate might be the original Hero Quest choose your own adventure game. Maybe. I don't know. I only had like 4 of those books, but one of them was either the first or second one. Anywho, so yes, you do still have the book on you, Ollie. Cool.
As we're walking, maybe when we sit down for the night. You know what? We can wait until we sit down for the night.
That's fair. So the two of you waltz out of Riverwood, deciding that it's probably best just to slink off rather than address the lumber mill situation.
I don't think we're particularly wanted in Riverrun. Riverrun? Bloody...
Yes, not since the Tullys were exiled, no. I can't believe the way the Blackfish died.
Nobody can.
So, you proceed down the path a little ways, cross the bridge, and start moving towards Whiterun, feeling a little bit, perhaps slightly distraught. The Mer is convinced that he might pop out of existence at any moment, and is repeatedly witnessing what he believes to be temporal anomalies.
Are they still happening to me?
No, they're sorry, but you've seen them twice, to your mind.
Yeah.
3 times.
Well, yeah, 3 times with the...
time.
Exactly. Technically 4, but you don't know one of them. Because Alduin. Yes. And meanwhile, Arnaulf, well, he's just been held up by yet another load of stupid officials. And he is apparently nothing if not anti-establishment. No matter which establishment that may be.
The only 2 establishments I've run into in the last, 6 months after the blooming dig, have both been one tried to execute me for no crime, and the other tried to pin a crime on me.
You met Ulfric.
I saw him briefly as he was running away.
Yeah, there you go. So of the 3 possible alignments in Skyrim, Imperial, Stormcloak, and Neutral, you dislike all of them.
I didn't see Ulfric Stormcloak helping me, the Imperial Legion can suck it, and fuck that Riverwood guard guy in particular.
You're gonna have a time in Whiterun. You've been walking for maybe an hour outside of Riverwood when you cross a bluff and something comes into view. It's Catclop, lazing in the sunshine, looking like he's having just the time of his life, casually scratching his chin with one of his rear feet.
Oi, you furry feeling it fuck, I thought you were supposed to have drowned.
But I can swim, I say in...
Tagra.
Tagra.
Oi, roar to you too!
It doesn't sound literally like a roar. It's just like some form of a language, but you just don't understand it.
Yeah, arguably it's probably more like meows and low purrs and such.
I would like to translate, but I'm going to make it out that the Wimclop is actually being incredibly offensive.
Yeah, there you go. Emerging from behind a tree, Jomo, presumably with Zanzarim Zahir on his shoulder. What's your line here, Carl?
honestly didn't actually have one.
That's fair. So you come out and just start translating what the cat horse thing said, insinuating it to be a variety of unpleasant statements about the relative virtues of Arnaulf's mother.
In words, I don't care about you, you catty fuck. I'll have you if you disrespect my matter.
I just look between them. I'm like, this I would like to see.
I would like to brandish my Dwemer war axe.
I wish I had popcorn.
Sure, you brandish your Dwemer war axe. Large cat tiger thing. What do?
I like to yawn.
Still lying on the ground, still scratching his chin with his rear paw, he yawns.
That's what I thought. Ain't got no balls, you cat fucks.
They're retractable.
Not going anywhere near it. I'm not enabling it. What you do on your own time is your business. I'm not portraying it. But yes, they are retractable.
Retractable thumbs.
So, what do?
Do I have them?
Party, you have reunited, and Yuhnbric, you're a little bit lost in your own world right now, trying to focus on not just popping out of existence. But the Nordling is definitely correct. These people were supposed to be dead, and here they are, very clearly not dead.
Yeah. That's implying they know we stole.
They
We're implying that
definitely
we were told.
do know you stole.
We were told by the
suspect.
people in the town that you were drowned whilst running away with stolen goods.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, clearly not us. He is right here.
And what's with the whole skipping town for a night and then suddenly we're getting hauled over the coals for some grand larceny?
Meanwhile, back in Riverwood. Grand larceny, that's what I should have said. That took me all bloody day to think of that. Meanwhile, back at the main party.
We saw shifty things, and being Khajiits in this Skyrim land, we knew that we would get the blame. So we ran.
A likely story.
Is actually, to be fair, quite a likely story.
I suppose, yeah, it is a likely story. Well, just don't. Right, people around here ain't Khajiit anyway. You've got a really shit reputation. I'm not going to say it's deserved or not, because quite frankly, I don't meet many people of my own species up here. Just, you know, try not to conform to the stereotypes, please.
When he says the word "meet many of my species," Yuhnbric bites back a sob.
Oof.
And that I don't notice it, like, because I have no idea what's gone on between you two.
I mean,
You got hay fever.
they reek of booze, and the Mer usually looks a little bit bleary-eyed at the best of times. Keeps blinking away from the sun. So it looks like they had a bit of a night, basically. And certainly smells like it.
Well, for our mission the card, we should continue, yes?
Hey, we're all heading off to Whiterun, you see.
Okay.
While we're there, I'm sure we can get some honest work.
I just blink rapidly. Yes, honest work.
I mean, are you not running the travelling cuddle cafe?
Well, you see, it would help if we had our cart.
I'm sure it would, but I mean, that cat is dressed up as an adorable wizard, so, you know...
Not wearing my wizard
Yeah,
stuff.
I don't think
Oh, I
he's-
thought you were, sorry.
No.
No, he's fully nude. He's cat.
Like, considering the situation, it's like, here, how's about you cuddle? Just hand over Zanzari.
How do you feel about cats, Arnaulf? bearing in mind you know that this one is sapient telepath.
Do I?
Yes, it was brought up by Delphine, and you've heard it talk a number of times now. And though you didn't initially get that it was the cat that was doing that, it made it pretty clear.
Well, he's nicer and fuzzier than that thing over there, so I don't mind carrying him at all. Here, you can perch yourself up on the top of my pack. I've got my tent up there. It's nice and soft.
Yeah.
And so
the
noble Khajiit rides the Nord.
I go, Zanzarim's are here, finds this location acceptable.
Was that in Tagra?
No, that was its broadcast voice.
Yeah. Broadcasting that in common to everything.
I suppose you're probably more than 300 meters away.
I'm
from
sure.
the
All right.
actually, at this
You know.
So,
It is a nice tent. Done me many a winter.
and so, with tensions somewhat soothed, the party begins trekking a little bit further into Whiterun Hold. The rolling hills of the Whiterun itself around Riverwood give way to a gradual descent into wide open plains. A relatively oddly not fertile tundra, taiga would it be, surely? Yeah, fertile taiga. And from this central position you can see almost all of the interior of Skyrim open up for miles and miles and miles in every direction.
Almost due north from here, give or take a few mountains, is home. Beautiful dawn star.
Indeed. You can actually just about see the edge of the Pale.
Proper hold. It's home to me, damn it!
The thing that's probably the most awe-inspiring about the interior of Whiterun, not its grand, mist-wreathed mountains, not its bevy of winding, lazy rivers, not its small forests or isolated homesteads. The thing that probably sticks out the most, more than anything else, even more than the central jeweled, stony stud that is Whiterun itself, is the local giant population. And at the very foot of the road, you can see a giant napping. He's between the road and the river, just a little ways off to the side. And seems to have just kind of perched down for a classic nap. His head rested atop two large leathery hands, and his club, about half a tree, resting gently at his feet. What do?
Avoid him, obviously. Now, Mr. Zanzarim Zemir, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't go announcing yourself to all and sundry. I don't fancy bothering a giant during his nap.
Zamzarir approves of this.
But
Is it dangerous
it
thing to
works,
be
yes? He kills it and takes its things.
I don't... Right, okay. Quiet voices now. Have you ever seen a giant in action?
Silence from everyone. Although,
Because I have. You see that club he's got there? The thing that's most of a tree? Yeah, let's put it like this. If that hit you, then quite frankly, there wouldn't be nothing left. So let's have none of this talk about killing it. Let's just go on with our day and leave him alone.
Might even hit the stratosphere.
the planet doesn't have an atmosphere, so it also doesn't have a stratosphere. That's not the physics it works on.
Yeah, the night sky is not the night sky. It's how we view hell.
Yeah.
Ish?
So the party comes a little way off the road, trying to skirt as far around the giant as they possibly can. The Khajiit, evidently fairly unfamiliar with giants, they're not native to elsewhere at all. Yuhnbric might be not familiar, but you would have heard tales of their fierceness. Those are actually going to be somewhat over-egged for you. They're bigger and not necessarily nastier, but certainly more organised and occasionally have more reason to be hostile in the first era where you're from compared to the fourth. In fact, there is actually a giant in Blackreach, but I'm pretty sure he probably got there after. I don't think he's just been living down there for thousands of years by himself.
Do they live for thousands of years?
It is unclear.
Okay.
Probably not. Yes. So you skirt around and things go relatively smoothly. Though giants can carry valuable treasure and many of their body parts are extremely valuable alchemical ingredients, the temptation does not outweigh the risk, and you proceed down the road towards Whiterun itself. It takes you another day or so's worth of travel before you begin to get towards Whiterun's outskirts. So, who's got food?
I've got food. I've got, at this point, 8 days supply of food for myself.
Cool. If you'd like to consume a thing of food.
I do not have any food on me. I'm going to ask.
I have one remaining chunk of cheese.
Share
Yeah,
with
no food.
Yuhnbric. So
Thank you.
I'll give him a day's supply.
I have rations for myself, so...
This Khajiits can pay. Perhaps you might be interested in this. I would like to bring out some miscellaneous coins valuing. Like, I don't actually know what currency or anything is it.
Right, alright. Gather round, it will make Whiterun probably tomorrow. We'll be able to get more food there.
Good.
Right, okay, I'd like to get... How much food does Creed need? Does he need a whole day's worth of rations, or...?
You can probably give him a quarter day's worth of rations.
I'll just say I've got 3 days remaining worth of rations, so... I'll give everyone a full day's supply, so there you go.
Fair.
I'll toss Zanzarim up some nice... I won't... No, I suppose. I'll just wait for him to get down.
And,
I'll just meow at you when you bring food out of your pouch.
So yeah, you actually sit down for a reasonably quiet and non-controversial meal. The first nice, no real inter-character rivalry meal that you all have had since the escape from Helgen. Otherwise it's been quite tense, but now you're just all a bit tired and dirty and feeling like, this cart may have completely outpaced us. So
Well,
you pass a relatively mirthful evening. It's restful, but you swap a few fireside stories, potentially even some life history, if any of you feel like sharing.
I'm good, thanks.
I'm fine.
Yeah, so just some fireside stories then, it sounds like.
Right. Well, here's the thing.
Hi.
I was not able to complete my archaeological dig thanks to the annoying intervention of those bastards in the Imperial Legion. So when we get to Whiterun, I'm going to need to try and get some coin together because I was relying on the income for that to set me up for the next winter. So I'm going to try go off and find myself something to do. Have you lot got anything else you can do to, you know, make yourself some coin? Because we're starting to run a bit low on money.
Meow.
Or at least I ain't got none.
Where there's homes, there's money.
Udawimba, not here. Can't keep
Rumble
doing
the
this.
terrifying horse.
We could also just eat the people.
I'm speaking in, like, whatever Khajiit language is called. I would keep forgetting as well.
Tagra.
Okay.
Agra, right. No. I'll just go back to enchanting and potion making. Like, that's always a good profit. I can't keep, like, robbing and eating people.
Be boring.
Eating people is pretty pretty extreme for the record. Even as cinched, cinch. There we go. There's no T. Even as a cinch, like you are sapient, and eating other sapients is generally frowned upon. It's not technically cannibalism, but yeah.
Emotional cannibalism.
Yeah, there you go. Emotional cannibalism. That is a strangely good summary of the feelings on the subject.
Pretty low on the car system. He feels pretty low anyway, so he doesn't really care too much.
Feels pretty... Okay, that's fine. Your character. But
he has a detachment.
Feels low enough that he just resorts to cannibalism is...
Not just resorts. It is like, oh, we have no money, we need food. Okay, I'll eat someone, fine. But
why can't you find something to eat rather than
even,
someone
let's
to
find
eat?
gainful employment. It's straight away, right? We've run out of money.
We're like, Nick,
do you realise how easy it is to hunt a human when they will walk up to you and you just go...
You're just like, Nick, that is a perfectly good deal right there. But look at that family travelling all on their lonesome. Don't they look delicious?
They're so much easier.
Babies are so tender.
Hunting a human, that's just murdering someone in the street and eating them. And also, who's going up to you like that? You're a large, terrifying cat.
Most people don't go up and pet lions.
Exactly.
Apart from if they have thumbs, then they're totally cool with it. But you're shit out of luck there.
Yeah, everyone knows thumbed lions are the best. Regardless, the point is actually pretty... Eating people, difficult, amoral, can't think why you think famously the most dangerous game, Sapience, is easier than anything like a rabbit, but this is the central, the fertile central plain of Skyrim, and you are a large predatory animal. Even if everyone else were to starve to death, you actually are in a pretty good position to hunt deer and rabbits and such.
I think I'd specifically take survival. I got survival novice, but yeah, no, it doesn't.
I like the idea of a horse being untrained in survival.
Yeah, I was like, I can't really not have that. I need that.
I mean, it's possible. You get different types of horses.
I suppose it would be a tamed horse, one that was raised from a birth by sentience.
And so the evening goes by, with you discussing the relative capabilities of the Sench, who is just kind of put out by the whole conversation, but can't convey it to anyone but two people, or well, one person who is deliberately trolling him. And so merely mumbles occasionally about killing and eating the lot of you, but at this point he's made those threats so many times about so many people that it's just gotten kind of stayed.
In the light of the fire, I would like to take out my book and draw up plans for a shovel. An all bells and whistles shovel.
It's like an auto shovel.
Yeah, basically.
Alright, you're an engineer, why not? With a mechanical pencil, you have all the requisite... I'll take an engineering roll. How fancy do you want this shovel to be? Because like, you can have it automatically if you just want a shovel, but if you want the prettiest or most auto-magical, this is an overly complex Dwemer shovel.
I would like an auto shovel, like yeah.
Alright, you want to do full-on Dwemer batshittery. Alright, we'll call it engineer at a -20.
Cool, so +0 in total. Yeah, I made that. 2 degrees of success, I think. No, 1 degree of success.
So, as you sit there, feeling not at home, but maybe just a little bit at peace for the first time since you really worked out exactly what was happening to you, you, I'm assuming, decide that you're going to work on a little bit of a gift for Arnaulf. He's the only person kind of keeping this group of people together, and this group of people and that one cat and the other cat is the only stability you really have in your life right now. So working on a little present for him. It's an automatic shovel, which with its various speed settings will allow you to simply position the shovel in the area you want dug and then slowly move it in, with it siding into the dirt, extending out, flicking the dirt back at an angle so it's away from the face of the shoveler, providing the thing's held correctly, and then returning to its on position before flicking back in and repeating. Functionally taking the manual out of manual labour.
That's the Dwemer thing. We took all the manual out and turned just into straight up labour.
Fun times. In the morning.
Sorry. I was going to say, over the night, can I roll a lore Skyrim test to think about how, if there are any prospective clients of mine who might need archaeological skills in Whiterun?
Whiterun's a pretty major city. You are a roaming archaeologist. I'm going to say that you actually probably already know that the main client in Whiterun, by far and away, is... Ah, fuck, what's his name? There is actually a guy. Give me a sec. Ah, here we go. So, Farengar Secret Fire. The Nordic... there are so many Nords in this game. Surprisingly. But yeah, the Nordic court mage of the local Jarl. Jarl Balgruff. Yeah, no, he's 100%. In fact, he's probably given you a modest amount of work previously. Like, he doesn't constantly have need for an archaeologist, but you've been on at least a couple of digs sponsored by the guy.
Sorry about that, I was busy. What were you saying again?
I was saying that you've not had constant work from this guy, but you've been on at least a couple of digs sponsored by him. He doesn't always have need of an archaeologist, but it's not infrequent.
Probably end up heading there, see if he needs anything doing.
Fair.
If nothing else, I can try and act as a middleman to try and get that claw sold. Send them to Riverrun, see if anyone wants it. Riverwood.
Oh, right, you mean for the trader back in Riverwood? I was thinking...
Yeah, basically, put the...
Yeah, I was just thinking that, like... But the Khajiit don't have the claw, and even if they did, you wouldn't know, because you believe they're actually pretty reasonable lie.
No, I just ask around to see if anyone is looking to buy a line in Draconic artifacts, and say, well, there's a one for sale up right now in Riverwood.
We'll see.
You can probably get it cheap.
So this is what's on your mind as you wake the next morning and begin making your way into town. The suburbs of Whiterun, if suburbs you can call them, aren't particularly densely packed, but the city is ringed with actually a modest amount of farmland. Catclop. These two legs.
Two?
They constantly put you down. They refer to you as Catclop, not Derwin Mar. Your name. And as you pass through these suburbs, you've eaten, but there are a lot of tasty looking people and animals here, and apparently you personally have fewer compunctions about eating other sapiens than most things. Even that aside, there's a lot of nice looking cows around here that you'd really like to sink your teeth into. How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I mean, I have eaten. I am sapient. Sapient, thank you. So I think I'm doing okay on that side of thing. I'm not like an impulsive eater or an opportunistic eater.
Can't take you anywhere. Just eat the entire town.
I think I'm doing okay.
Okay. So you're perhaps eyeing around with casual contempt, but not much more than that. Your little party does get a few stares as you walk into town, making for the great main gates of Whiterun. And as you arrive, you find a Nordic guard wearing the same uniform as the guy back up at Riverwood, who holds up a hand. No Khajiit inside Whiterun without a passport.
Wait, mate, I mean, I mean, be reasonable. It's been a long trek. We haven't. I don't quite know where the slots are.
All right, you can roll me a charm. He's not that invested, I guess. So I'll take a. Well, it's not charm though, is it actually?
No.
It's a different name.
There
Persuade. Here we go. Persuade. I'll call it a +10.
Okay. Is that personality?
Yes. Ooh, I should not have stayed up playing Path of Exile.
Is 3 degrees of success.
I am surprised. Who are you, and what have you done with Benji?
See, I put points in basically every skill because.
Did you? I thought you were untrained with Persuade.
Oh, I thought it was.
No, you're untrained.
If I'm untrained, then it's only 2 degrees of success.
Still though, not bad.
No.
Yeah, he. I say looks at you. He's got the Skyrim guard helmet on, so he kind of swivels at you, swivels at the cats, swivels at you, swivels at the cats. All right, fine. I'm not that fussed. Just keep him within eyesight of you. We'll sicken on you if they steal anything, and you got to keep the big one on a leash.
I mean, I don't think he'll be happy about that one.
I look directly at him.
He's a wild animal. Look at him. He's got these big dumb sulfur light. Oh, he's a bit cute actually when you look at him.
I do have the attractive traits.
The guard. Not going anywhere near that. The guard steps forward.
Like a well-pruned, not like a wild animal, but like a well-kept, tamed animal.
He turns to Arnaulf, the clear owner. Are you? Is he trained? Can I pet him?
I would like to proactively step forward and start giving chin scratches and rubbing his forehead, general cat fussing.
To the guard.
No, to the Wimbar because he's up.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I'll lay down as well.
he actually. Oh, he's just a big cat, isn't he? Oh, he goes in and joins in with the chin scratches.
I enjoy the chin scratches a lot.
Look at him. Yeah. How long have you had him?
Long?
An amount of time.
Oi,
Fair. Well, how much does one of these set you back? He seems very well trained.
To be honest, I picked him up for a song down in Helgen.
My cousin lives in Helgen. I should visit.
Not again.
Yes, the cat was almost a steal.
I mean,
that's a bit tasteless, mate.
It is a lovely town, but the south is not so nice at this time of year. I'd leave it for a bit if I were you. I'm sure your cousin will be right as rain.
Oh, yeah, that's very fair. He can look after himself. No, seriously though, where do you buy one of these? Is it like part dog or something? It's very well behaved. Look at you swerve his little floofy nose.
I couldn't tell you where you buy one. Again, like I say, I picked it up for a song in Helgen. It's new to me as it is to you, my friend.
Oh, alright, fair enough.
Really deep purring.
God, he's got a voice on him, doesn't he? Listen to that as he kind of just scritches up and down your neck, full two-hander.
Turns out the Khajiit invent dubstep. It's large cats, and you're all rubbing their bellies in different places at different times.
God damn it. Alright, well, leash or no, you probably should get him on a leash or something, or at least get a collar around him, because people are just going to think there's a bloody big wild cat on the loose. Aren't those a big wild boy?
I'll pop some carry and stuff on him to let people know he's a valued member of our travelling team.
Alright, mate, he's just a pet. You don't need to be pretentious about it. Stands up and...
I nuzzle him a little bit.
Oh, he's a good boy. I can't stay mad. I tell you what, if you ever fancy selling, I'd buy the shit out of this guy. I bet he eats his own weight in raw meat, but fuck me, he's worth it. Look at these big eyes. Oh.
I look over at Jomo and then just look away.
Are you looking out on the scritches? Do I notice the look? Can I go over and start scratching Creed's ears.
I don't think that's what the look was about.
I can willfully misinterpret the look.
I'll give me an observe over perception roll, please.
So
Yes,
27.
I'm thinking about coins.
I have observe untrained.
That's a good shout, my friend.
Yeah, I do not know that. 2 degrees of failure.
Yeah, no, you don't see the cat's meaningful glance around at Jomo.
Tigray or Tagra? I keep forgetting it.
Tagra.
Tagra. I'll just respond. Perhaps now is not the best time.
Could you have any recommendations for an inn that might be able to house my well, your newest friend?
He scratches his chin for a moment, almost as though checking his mental, unofficial Elder Scrolls wiki.
But yeah, continuing in Tagra. Perhaps this cuddle cafe or whatever it's called could actually work out. Set up in this inn, and then like 5 minutes for 5 silvers, or fussing you at a Wimber.
Set up a cat cafe. Yeah, he after some reviewing of his mental wiki, gets back to you. Yeah, I think you probably want to look at the Bannered Mare in the Plains district, right at the bottom of town. They should have a stable at the back somewhere, I think.
Much obliged, my friend.
Sorry, 2 seconds. The cat's just found an open bag of treats I shouldn't have left out.
Fucking cats.
I just remembered I have an open bag of treats as well that I have not been eating from.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
That's why he was meowing at me a second ago. Alright, come here, cat. Treats have been distributed. Okay, yeah, no, he opens the little door, not the big main gates, and ushers the lot of you through. Whiterun is a fairly densely packed town. It's also quite an old town, which means that the architecture is towering and goes off at awkward angles, many of them sort of strangely pointed triangles. It winds up through a series of tiers, so that even from where you are now, you can see the houses rising in a sort of stepped fashion up towards a large wooden palace at the very top of the town. The fabled Dragon's Reach. What do? Where go? The streets are not super busy, but they're not exactly deserted, and people kind of give sidelong glances at you and the large, terrifying cat monster, and the smaller cat sat atop the Nord. Is that a dog? Or, but you got through the gates, so you must be allowed in town. They would have had to have passports, not like they're just going to wave you on through. What do?
I'm going to turn to Arnaulf and ask, are there any forges or blacksmiths around here I can use?
Mate, we're in one of the more metropolitan cities of bloody Skyrim. There's probably loads.
I have a tiny snort when I hear the word metropolitan. The tiniest of snorts. More a hiccup. A hiccup of the rightest origin.
Oh, there's plenty around. I should imagine, though, that the innkeep will be able to direct us further. I've not been to Whiterun for quite a few years. I was out in the Reach last time. Is where I met up with my good old friend Bjorn. When I met him for no reason other than wanting to see an old friend.
Indeed.
Is there a thing for insight in this?
Revere, who is currently Schlorp, his full name is Revere Bjornsson, but as Revere doesn't currently exist...
Ah.
I just went off to see my old friend Bjorn.
So you're walking towards the... what was it called? God, I've bloody forgotten. The Bannered Mare. Which, the directions were pretty simple. It's basically go through the door, head straight up. It's about 200 meters into town, you can't miss it. When you're stopped halfway along by a slightly confused looking elderly man. Have you been to Bellathor at the general goods shop?
Sorry, what?
I work for Bellathor at the general goods shop. He kind of carries on.
I mean, good for you.
Just seems to almost ignore your statement back to him. A nearby guard patrols after and just... Don't worry about it, my friends. He's a local simpleton.
Wait, okay.
NPC.
And you carry on towards the Bannered Mare. It is indeed an old stable. The rear part of it, the stable part, which you sort of skirt around to investigate, looks fairly disused. The majority of the building is just this sort of one-story T-shape with the typical pointed, fancy longhouse-style roofs of modern Whiterun. It doesn't exactly sound raucous. It's a like high afternoon day, so there's not a huge amount of people getting shithoused in there, but you can see a few people casually sipping at mead, more than a couple of them just quietly reading their books in the inn. What do?
Well, I suppose we better go find the innkeep.
Fair.
Cards on the table, boys, before we go in. What's the coin situation like for everyone else? Because I'm sitting on about 40 septims here. So I don't think I'll be able to pay for the lot of you. I might be able to get me.
Skinned.
Just, like, scratching behind the ears. It's like, I know, Doim, I know.
Why?
I should be able to cover myself and my compatriots.
Helpful, right, because we'll have to start making some money. Which shouldn't be too bad, but, you know.
Money.
I look over.
Well, as soon as we find that bloody cart, but equally at the same time as finding that bloody cart.
Yeah, I'm gonna, like, need to find an alchemy shop at some point, because I need to buy an alchemy set. That would kind of help.
Fair.
Is Carl, are you just covering the other Khajiit with your scheme?
Good money.
Hard-earned coinage.
Okay, I'm going to turn to Arnaulf. You said you've been here before selling various artifacts and so on, so right? There's places around here which are useful for archaeologists such as yourself to move on anywhere you may have.
Oh, there's a few contacts. There's Messer Secret Fire. He's the general one I sell to. He's interested in Dwemer stuff mostly. I've sold to people all through Skyrim. Whiterun's kind of a quiet one for it, but there's a few.
Okay, I asked for directions to that to this contact.
Secret Fire is he tends to be sort of specific commissions, so he'll say, I need you to investigate a thing. He doesn't necessarily just buy random.
Oh, okay. I need someone who just buys. Sorry.
That's a bit trickier, unfortunately. Whiterun's not noted for its nerd scene, for lack of a better word.
Fair enough.
Sorry, I was double checking the staff of the inn, because for some reason I'm trying to get the NPCs right instead of just making up new ones. What were you all doing? I heard mixed messages about going to see a merchant versus going into the inn.
Oh yeah, we'll go into the inn. I was just saying that as a future plan.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Fair. So you pop on in, you see, yeah, people sort of look a little bit taken aback, but you don't look like you're spoiling for a fight, so even with the large cat, they just kind of settle down, a bit nervous, but also, it's Skyrim, we've all got weapons, it'll be fine, we can probably kill it if it acts out, and they don't seem to think it's a big deal.
I just lie next to the fire.
Sure. So you meander over to the fire and lie down, and behind the main counter is a fairly elderly woman polishing a glass, looking at the five of you as you come in. God, I'm not sure if I can do an elderly woman's West Country. Can I help you? Thank you for your hand symbols of support.
Just looking at Arnaulf, considering that it's better for Nords to be talking to Nords.
Oh, my lover. We're looking for accommodation for the 5 of us. That includes the giant cat. We were wondering about rates on some of your rooms and such. Obviously, the cat can sleep in the stable, but, you know.
Oh, bloody buggering hell, I didn't check the rates. It's okay, I have a PDF in broadly the right area. List expenses. Oh, that's lifestyle, not lodging. Cool. So, modest accommodations. I charge you. I charge 6 coins per day, including a snack. Per person.
Is there anywhere we can get food around here for a couple of square meals? Or could we get that here for extra?
Yeah, solid meal. I'm just giving her regular West Country, I'm sorry, I can't do it. Solid meal is... I think that'd be 4 coins per per person for small for basic serving, but a good size one would be 7 coins.
But seems alright. At least myself, I'll just take the modest room for tonight. At least I'd like to pass over 6 coins.
Fair.
These are drakes, right?
Septims.
Septims, but drakes is the same. So so
yeah, it's the same.
Can we could just share a room?
One of you's sleeping in the stables.
Yeah, dough in bars in the stables.
Okay then. So as far as Missy's concerned, she doesn't know that Zan's room is our feet, so I'm not going to charge him extra rate.
No, it's a cat.
Okay, sweet. We're
Like
paying stable fees?
Stable fees, equivalent cost of a room, so it's 6 coins for him as well.
Okay, I'll hand over 12 coins.
She takes your money, though eyes you a little bit suspiciously and double counts it once it's in her hands.
Fucking Baz.
Yeah, little cat. Cat, what are you doing? Stop running over the table. You're going to completely fuck the recording. Why have you got the zoomies?
You give him treats. He's probably sugared up.
Oh, that's true. These are new treats as well.
Yeah, he's been fucking bouncing.
Come here, cat. What are you doing? Alright. Cool. Which leaves us with one obvious person who is without a room. Yuhnbric.
So, if there's no easy place for me to go get my, to trade in some Dwemer artifacts,
sorry, gear you probably could sell. It's just your coins you would need someone
that's
who
what
knows.
I want to sell. That's what I want to sell.
Oh, right. No, never mind. Carry on then.
I asked the lady if there's anything of a mechanical nature here that I could help fix, and would that perhaps pay for a night or two? I'm fairly handy with my tools. I can fix many things. I don't have much coin on me, unfortunately, right now, but...
She looks you up and down suspiciously. Not sure I trust elves.
I sort of lean over to her. Not sure I do either.
And then she gets a slight, no, you see, you're a Dunmer, aren't you? No, I'm a loyal citizen of the Empire, and I remember you.
I too remember you, fellow citizen.
She looks confused. No, I've always admired how the Dunmers stick by the Empire. Not like them bastardly treasonous high elves. I tell you what, my well out the back's a little bit knackered. If you can get the thing unclogged, then you can have a room for the eve.
Many thanks.
Okay, which means I guess we'll just quickly see if you can sort out this well.
My stuff in the in my room, and then go off to try and help him.
Yeah, you emerge from your room having found it's modest but nice enough accommodations. The cot is not the softest in the world, but it beats sleeping on the ground in your tent. And you know that you're going to have to pay for food here at some point, but it can wait. Your rations were still pretty decent from yesterday, though you'll be hungry soon. You emerge to find Yuhnbric staring at with his head almost lodged down this well in the back of the courtyard. Watching him is the form of the beast of not quite burden that you have been introduced to only as Catclop.
Don't remember.
Sat in a tiny stall, sat in a moderately sized but fairly disused stall. His paws crossed, just casually watching. Can I get an observe over intelligence roll, please, Ollie?
Yeah, I do not have observe trains, so that's 31 or under. Yeah, I make it 1 degree of success.
You actually think you can see what's wrong with the well. There's a particularly large... not even a particularly large rock. So the issue doesn't seem to be that the well is clogged necessarily. It's that the water level has receded slightly and the bucket no longer goes far enough down to actually get anything out. The old woman's eyes must be just pretty bad. All you'd really need is a... Sorry, who's making horrifying noises?
That was me. I was looking in my bits box.
Fair.
Apologies.
No, that's alright. Just thought I'd let you know, because it was here. Yeah, her eyes are just presumably failing her a little bit and she couldn't quite see. You'd really just need a little bit of extra rope and it should be a pretty trivial job to rig up.
Cool.
You are also, to be fair, in a disused-ish stable, which means that there's probably an amount of rope around to find. So, since you passed the observation roll, I'll just take a flat engineering, please.
Sure.
I'll give you a +10, actually.
Cool, so total of +30 then. Yeah, that's 81 or under. So
now it's a steam-powered well.
She comes out to find the well. How do I do 7 degrees of success on
It's got full like
bloody
pressure
well?
system and everything now.
No, because
it's just like
it's got to be feasible.
So you could theoretically rig up. It's like when you have 2 buckets and they have the rope going over it, and there's a system you could use to like empty it out as it goes up, and then it comes down again. Like that's a pretty mechanical system that only requires like 2 buckets and a wheel.
I'm not sure how that system works, I'm afraid.
I'm trying to.
You know what? Here's what we'll do then, because you seem to have a pretty clear idea, and it's fairly reasonable. We'll give you an extra minute. You've got 2 minutes or less to describe it, Ollie. What has Yuhnbric done with this well?
So there's now an axle, or if there was an axle, if there wasn't before, there's now maybe a very simple axle that runs between the top of the well. There's a wheel in the axle. Presumably this was already all there anyway. Like you kind of need that to operate a well. Scavenged another bucket from somewhere else. And and now it's just like it's a simple simple pulley system.
Counterweight system to make it easier to.
Yeah, it's a counterweight system. So you bring it down and you can just easily bring lower and raise the bucket, basically, with a simple counterweight system. And maybe a pulley on there as well, like a very simple pulley, which only requires 3 wheels.
It takes a little bit of explanation to actually get the old woman to understand what it is you've done, but eventually she seems inordinately pleased. I was honestly just expecting to find the well a little bit easier to use again, but no, this is fantastic. I don't think I introduced myself earlier. I'm Hulda.
I'm Yuhnbric. Nice to meet you.
This is so much more than I was expecting. You stay for the week. I'll even throw in tonight's meal for yourself. And your friend here, why the fuck not? It's only bread and cheese.
Much obliged.
Yeah, many thanks.
And that brings us to a good spot to end for the evening, I think. So, reminders for next session. Anyone got anything?
We need to make money.
Track the cart. Ask about the cart.
Also the cart.
Party desperately needs to make money. Should ask around Whiterun about the cart. Anything else?
I need to get an alchemy set.
Oh,
Jomo wants an alchemy set. And for that matter, actually, Arnaulf and Yuhnbric are getting a free meal. What were you going to say, Nicholas?
Khajiit petting zoo.
I'm putting a question mark on that. Khajiit petting zoo?
Let's try to simplify it as much as possible.
Oh, I would like a reminder to find materials for the various inventions I've been working up.
Yuhnbric wants to find materials / blacksmith for time distortion detection device
And multi-shovel.
/ auto shovel. Cool.
This is, on a side note, I'm really liking that I have the ability to do this with this character, because it's kind of what I've always wanted to do with the AdMech characters I've played, but you obviously don't get that that sort of leeway as much in Dark Heresy, because everyone's a bit like, tech. But this feels like it's just like, I'm from an advanced race. I know what the shit I'm doing. You've literally bought a rocket engineer.
Stand aside, primitives.
It's kind of the way.
Ollie, that's literally the AdMech's view on things.
Well, to be fair, also a lot of the stuff that you might want to invent as an AdMech already exists and is commonly manufactured. But as you say here, like, it is not. There is that gap for you to create things in.
Yeah, I'm liking that.
Cool, I'm glad. Which brings us neatly on to feedback. Anything you liked, anything you disliked, anything you'd like to see more of or less of next time.
I'm really liking the system just in general, I guess.
Party unity. It's so beautiful.
I was just so happy when the Khajiits didn't just carry off down the road.
At that point, you have to start running 2 separate sessions, and we just occasionally bump into each other.
I'll physically force you back together. No, I'd find some theoretically clever, but in practice probably not, way to do it. But it is nice to have people just going with the conceit a little bit.
The Khajiit run slap bang into Alduin and run away again.
Maybe something with an angry giant barring their path, or I don't know. I wing 90% of this stuff, which totally doesn't show whatsoever.
No, not at all.
No.
But it does ruin it when you say it, because then we know. We know, Ewan.
We always know.
So. Cool. Any other feedback?
No.
No, fair.
It doesn't.
I'm glad that people are enjoying. I'm glad that we're party unified. And you've got probably 7 sessions left to catch that cart.
Catch that cut. Catch that cut. I'm not going to lie. Right now, I can see this as being one of our longer ones. It just feels like it could make a good 20 sessioner.
If we really feel like it, I would be okay because I have been wanting to run this forever, I would be okay maybe doubling up to 20. We'll see how we're doing when we start to get closer to the time limit. But it would be the same as the 10 session ones. It would then be like a hard cap at I will finish us at 20 come hell or high water. But we can definitely talk about it in future.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Questions? Anything anyone was narratively unsure of in that session?
Good.
No.
Good, I think.
Oh, everyone following. Well, I'm glad. And I'll try to read the damage rules or something. I had the terrifying moment of fear there of, is young Nicholas only going to do a couple of points of damage and this isn't going to do anything to perfectly ordinary Nord guy?
Perfectly ordinary Nord.
With my weapons, I have like an extra +6 damage, I think, to most things, so...
The armor system seems a bit...
1d10 plus 6. The armor stuff's pretty weak unless you have like heavy armor and stuff.
He's
not weak. But,
I mean, he's currently mostly naked. He's wearing a loincloth.
What happens when you you buff your melee, but you don't really think about your ability to wear armors. I have not played Skyrim in so long. I have no idea how much that was correct.
But I mean, going off health and stuff, I can 2-hit someone.
They're wearing armor.
Even if they're wearing armor, it's possible I can 2-hit someone.
Fair.
Because I can do a max of 32 damage.
It's quite a lot.
See.
Yes. And I can even boost... No, I can only attack twice, so...
I'm pretty sure 32... If you can do a max of 32, where's my wounds?
That's half your endurance.
Quite a lot of
yeah. Well, let's put it like this. Mine is 22. Yeah, mine's 22.
Yeah. So it's a scary amount of damage.
You are a big tiger horse thing. So that means we probably zoom neatly on to XP. Plot progression. Do you feel like you made any plot progression this session?
I feel like we did a little bit, yeah. We moved on, we completed Riverwood, sorry. We did all the, we don't have any more quest markers.
It's just called Riverrun now.
It's not Riverrun. This isn't CK, you can't just vandalise the province names.
Oh, I'm the one who vandalises the province names.
No, but Callum isn't here and I need to rage against something.
Does that mean I could theoretically name all my provinces like, Yuan sucks and...
Yes, yes you could.
Yeah.
I can be
you can name your provinces anything you want.
Callum, in our current game, has renamed huge sections of Anatolia and the Balkans after Disney films and IPs.
The Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It really... No, Marvel Cinematic Universe is a person, not a place.
No, it's a place as well. Because remember, he's Duke of Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I hate everything so much. So, yeah, mild plot progression basically seems pretty fair. Cool.
There's an excellent psychological warfare there. Name your provinces after your opponents. X sucks.
I feel that we progressed.
Yes,
the
we're going to rename
main plot of Skyrim as well. The Dragonborn got his claw.
We had to give it back.
I don't know if any of you have replayed Skyrim recently, but that claw actually gets stolen in the main plot as well. By a band of petty thieves from whom it is fairly easily recovered.
We were the petty thieves.
Yeah, we progressed it.
You just changed who the petty thieves were. Anywho... character development. Does anyone feel like they developed their character much this session?
I feel like I did.
I like scratches. I like chin scratches apparently.
Oh, we discovered that Arnaulf Finson has a massive problem with authority, no matter who that authority is. especially if they want to indict him for crimes he did not commit.
We found out Yuhnbric is okay with eating people if it comes down to it.
Oh yeah, the cat's a cannibal.
It's not even an if it comes down to it situation.
Yeah, exactly. That was like a first response.
It was like a, if we need to eat, we don't have any food.
You're more if I have to eat the wildlife, I will, but I want to eat the sentient life first.
Yeah, exactly. Let's
No,
get this,
no,
let's get this very clear. You, in fact, explicitly said you would rather hunt people because they...
rather, I can.
No, you said because they are easier to hunt.
Yeah, because they will literally come up to you.
Yes, when it comes to hunting, maybe, yes.
No.
When it comes to
The reasoning was false. It's just the reasoning you gave. It's totally wrong.
If I was given a slab of human meat, a slab of rat meat, I probably wouldn't care, whatever. If I had to go off hunting, then I might go for the human because it's easier.
How?
I mean...
But I like that you're still indifferent when there's an alternative option.
It's a very good... You know what? No, don't engage him. This is gonna get... But what is his favourite part of the human to eat? It's obviously the thumb. Okay, cool. Yes, that's a reasonable amount of character development points. Finally then, excellence of role-playing. Does anyone feel like anyone else role-played particularly well this session?
I think Ollie did very well with his whole drunkenness and despair.
Fair.
The existential horror.
Yeah. I think Carl again did a very good job of interpreting and the middleman for us.
Praise the Thumb Lord, Lord Thumb.
I also think Creed's meowing over telepathy again was perfect.
You mean perfect?
Dude, you shut your filthy mouth. I do like Creed's meowing at strategic junctions.
Very good. Chooses to meow rather than telepathically just go meh.
One day you're going to telepathically meow. It's going to freak everyone out.
What do you mean one day? That's happened multiple times.
No, but not with the meowing though, right? There's always been...
Oh yeah, not with the meowing, that's true.
So just imagine hearing a meow everywhere at once in 100 yards.
Benji's oblivious nature and and just all around just a nice guy.
I liked I did like Nick's discovered as well. What's the word? Propensity? Oh, I can't say it. Propensity.
Propensity.
Yes. Propensity for belly rubs. Even though he said the next person who was going to scritch him, he would eat their hands, specifically their thumbs. He let it happen because he likes it and discovers he can whore himself out for that.
I didn't say that.
I don't think he was getting belly rubs. I think they were face rubs.
They were face rubs, yes. Because I assumed there might be someone on the back, or might be something on the back. So I laid down.
Yeah, face rubs.
Okay, fairly fair. So I make that out to be 160 experience points for session number 3. That's 10 points, slightly under but partial progress for completing Riverwood. 20 points character development, that's Yuhnbric fears time, Arnaulf is at war with all authority, Yuhnbric is a chin scratches cannibal. Plus 30 points, sorry I'm echoing on someone. Who is that?
Young Nicholas on listenings.
Oh, my apologies.
30 points Yuhnbric's drunken despair. 30 points excellent role-playing. For Yuhnbric's drunken despair, Jomo is a good thumb lord, Zanzarim strategic meows, Benji refuses to stop role-playing, not realising who Yuhnbric is, and Catclop enjoys face scritches, plus your standard 100 general. Which brings us on to everyone's favourite part of the session, the bit where the loud vehicle goes outside my flat. It's the highlights. As soon as that goddamn street washer is gone. Cool. Young Nicholas, do you have any highlights of that session?
I would say autosave saves Autosave saves lives.
I don't know what you're talking about, but I guess I'll
It's the Dragonborn autosaving and then reloading to save his life.
The Dragonborn save scums.
It's a perfectly normal temporal event.
Perfectly normal.
You're not in a video game.
We're an RP game. Scritches. Just scritches.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Fair. Creed, do you have any highlights for that session?
I like the line. I think it was eating people is pretty frowned upon.
So when I try to do the episode subtitles, I go through the episode and try to pick out a statement which isn't something that I've said and which isn't something that was mentioned in the highlights, but which is entertaining enough to include as the subtitle. And it gets a bit difficult because we actually cover a lot of the entertaining shit fairly well in the highlights. I feel like that might have been a one. But
we've just been robbed.
But it's cool because it's in the highlights, so it's still good. Any other highlights, Creed?
No, I think my others were covered.
Fair. Carl, do you have any highlights for that session?
Whiterun Guard.
He just likes big cats. Plus, young Nicholas did, to be fair, by a merit relevant to such. It is beholden on me to actually reference that merit once or twice in a tasteful fashion.
Yes, no, totally. I'm trying to use it in a tasteful fashion. I don't want to use it in a way. It's like a cute dog way.
You're not a dog.
Cute cat, cute horse, whatever.
Oh,
I'm fucking beautiful.
Must not make thumb jokes. Must not make thumb jokes.
So many of them, and they're so easy to make.
They really are. Cool. Do you have any highlights for that session, Benji?
Party unity.
Don't you know you never split the party? Any other highlights?
Honest day's work.
I do enjoy that anytime you bring it up, the Khajiits devolve into arguments about the relative merits of crime versus actual working. And it's not the ethics of it, it's which is easier and or less risky. Any other highlights? No?
The greatest well in the land.
Fair. Any other highlights?
No, I think that's everything for me.
Cool. Will Ollie get back in time? Who knows? Carl, do you have any highlights for that session?
Yeah, it was my Whiterun Guard.
Oh yeah, no, you actually said, didn't you? Which means I didn't ask you if you had any more highlights. Do you have any more highlights, Carl?
No, that was it.
Fair. Ollie, back in the nick of time. Do you have any highlights for that session?
Oh, okay. I liked assumes Yuhnbric assuming that all time travel related issues mean he could snap out of existence at any point.
Fair. That was actually going to be one of mine.
Arnaulf immediately butting horns with the guard.
At least it's a character trait now, though.
Yeah. I liked the guy, the Nord realizing that, you know, maybe I should, you know, become a fence and a snitch rather than attack the giant cat. Time reasserted itself in a plot convenient way.
That was actually our first highlight. I mean, I'm not quite sure what they're referencing, but the phrasing which Benji suggested for young Nicholas was Dragonborn save scums.
Yeah, no idea what those words mean at all.
Well, I know what they mean, but you're not playing Skyrim. You're just playing in a Skyrim setting.
It's true. It's true.
Any other highlights, Ollie?
Oh, fixing the well.
Benji called it, I'm afraid.
In which case, yeah, I'm fine then, I think.
Cool. Well, Ollie actually got my one, so I guess the only thing that I can really add is, I suppose, two minor ones, or small ones. Pick one or the other. So skipping town on the lumber mill, you broke that guy's heart.
I will come back.
He's probably not going to be super happy to see you. You come back 3 weeks later. I'm ready to do the thing.
Yeah, but also I only ever promised that I could maybe do some stuff, and he's still getting along just fine without me there.
I mean, you did agree to come back that evening, and then didn't.
Maybe he's...
And he said he'd wait around for you.
Oh, he did, poor guy.
So Yuhnbric skips out on helping at the lumber mill, and I was genuinely a little bit surprised by this, but you all managed not to wake the sleeping giant. I was vaguely expecting not necessarily one of you to get killed, but someone to try and like cut off the giant's toe as he slept and hightail it out of there. So party avoids obvious narrative trap.
So you can have narrative traps, but you can't have save scumming. Let's see how it is.
Well, because save scumming is a practice in video games, whereas narrative traps are a practice in
very definitely not in a video game.
Yeah, you're not in a video game. Skyrim doesn't exist, it can't hurt you. Cool. Thank you all for a very lovely and entertaining session number 3. I will see you all back next week, with hopefully Revere back as well, for dramatic and exciting cart chasing adventures.
Cart chasing adventures where we all try and get a proper job. Because we need to eat.
You need to, yeah, simultaneously track down your lost cart and avoid starving to death. Cool. So
can't eat good intentions.
Does anyone have any final words for the recording?
Have you heard of this game, Raid Shadow?